Airports are emotional theaters. They are places where hellos sparkle and goodbyes ache, where relationships are tested by security lines and boarding calls. Maybe that's why, when Ripa recently joked that she wanted an airport divorce from her husband, Mark Consuelos, it struck a nerve. It was funny, yes, the kind of quip that makes sense only when you've been married long enough to share both boarding passes and baggage claim arguments, but it also revealed something deeper. What is an airport divorce, exactly? It's not a legal term. There are no lawyers in Terminal 3, no custody papers being notarized near Gate C12. It's emotional shorthand, a metaphor for that moment when you love someone deeply, but can't stand to be stuck in a boarding line with them for another second. Let's unpack that carry-on, shall we? The anatomy of the airport divorce. Airports are pressure cookers of personality. You can be a perfectly functional couple in the calm of your living room, but something about the sterile lighting, the ticking clocks, the TSA announcements, and the constant low-level anxiety of missing a flight can turn even the most patient partner into a ticking time bomb. An airport divorce begins innocently enough. Maybe Mark forgot to print the boarding passes, or Kelly insisted on getting to the airport 3 hours early, just in case. Maybe one of them packed the wrong charger, or someone left the passports in the Uber. The tension builds through security, one partner holding up the line to take off shoes and belt, the other hissing, "I told you to wear slip-ons." By the time they reach the gate, the mood has curdled. They sit in silence, staring at the departures board, fantasizing about boarding separate planes. But here's the thing about airport divorces, they're temporary. The moment the boarding call echoes through the terminal, and the world outside the window glows with sunrise or storm light, you remember why you're together. The absurdity of it all breaks the spell. You laugh. You hold hands. You board the same plane after all. A love story at 30,000 feet. Ripa and Mark Consuelos have built their marriage in the spotlight, a feat that's both glamorous and grueling. They've been married since 1996, a lifetime in Hollywood years. Their relationship has weathered babies, careers, fame, and the day-to-day grind that erodes even the strongest partnerships. When Kelly joked about wanting an airport divorce, it wasn't a sign of doom. It was a knowing wink to anyone who's ever loved someone so much it sometimes drives them mad. It's the kind of humor that only comes from decades of emotional mileage. Because here's the secret, every great love story includes turbulence. Maybe you've had your own airport divorce. You've argued over baggage fees, sprinted through terminals, missed connections. Maybe you've stood in line for coffee at gate 14 and thought, if he orders a pumpkin spice latte one more time, I'm leaving him right here in Dallas. And yet, when the plane lands, when you're both sleepy and rumpled, sharing a taxi to the hotel, laughing about how dramatic it all was, the love returns. That's the strange grace of travel. It puts your relationship under a microscope, then reminds you why it's worth the magnification. The psychology of terminal tension. Psychologists actually have a name for this phenomenon: situational stress response. It's the way our brains react to unpredictable environments. Airports are full of triggers: noise, crowds, deadlines, loss of control. Add another person's quirks into the mix, and you've got a recipe for emotional turbulence. Kelly and Mark's airport divorce joke works because it captures that universality. No matter how glamorous you are, you still have to take your shoes off at security. No amount of fame exempts you from the boarding line shuffle or the gate change chaos. In a way, the airport is the great equalizer. Love, stripped of comfort and control, becomes raw and real. You see each other at your most unvarnished, sweating, frustrated, trying to find Wi-Fi. An airport divorce is the moment you confront not just your partner's flaws, but your own. It's when you realize you're both human, both tired, both trying your best not to lose your boarding group and your composure. Luggage, literal and emotional. The metaphor goes deeper than the joke suggests. Every couple carries baggage, the emotional kind, not just the Samsonite kind. Airports make that baggage visible. You see it in how one partner organizes the passports, how the other zones out with earbuds. You see it in how you handle delays, how you navigate uncertainty together. When Kelly says she wants an airport divorce, what she's really saying might be this: in this moment, I'm overwhelmed. I need to drop the emotional baggage, even if just for a minute. And that's a healthy impulse. The beauty of an airport divorce is that it's impermanent. You walk away for a while, breathe, maybe grab a pretzel or scroll through Instagram, and then, inevitably, you circle back to your gate, ready to board again. That's marriage in a nutshell. Countless small separations and reunions, each one reminding you that love isn't about constant harmony. It's about finding your way back after turbulence. Boarding the same flight anyway. Kelly and Mark's humor about their marriage is part of why people adore them. They don't pretend to be perfect, they let the cracks show. Their chemistry, on screen and off, is equal parts affection and teasing exasperation. It's the kind of relationship that survives because it evolves. An airport divorce doesn't end the story, it refreshes it. It's a reset button, a way to say, okay, that was rough, but we're still us. You might even argue that the strongest marriages are the ones that can survive an airport together. The shared chaos, the missed flights, the endless waiting, these become the glue of shared memory. Years later, you'll laugh about the time you nearly divorced in Terminal B. Because the real test of love isn't how you handle candlelit dinners, it's how you handle TSA. Departures, arrivals, and everything in between. Maybe that's what Kelly Ripa really meant, not that she wants out, but that every relationship deserves space to breathe. Every couple needs the freedom to roll their eyes, to take a break, to have an emotional layover before returning to love. The airport divorce isn't an ending. It's a layover on the long flight of partnership, a reminder that sometimes, you need to sit at the gate, stare at the runway, and remember why you chose to travel together in the first place. Because when the flight finally takes off, when the clouds part and the seatbelt sign dings off, you look at each other, and despite everything, you're glad you're sitting side by side. Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos aren't just surviving marriage, they're flying it, turbulence, gate changes, and all. And maybe that's the real secret. The best couples don't avoid airport divorces, they laugh through them, grab each other's hands, and make the next connection together.